All right, folks. Hi, thank you so much for having us. So today we're going to take you through our journey from Gloo to kgateway project and give an introduction of kgateway. If you have any questions in between, feel free to stop and just ask because it's a small crowd. All right. So let's present our history a little bit. We started Gloo in 2018. As you can see, we grow GitHub slowly. Um, Interestingly enough, we've seen a little bit of uptick on the past I guess, past 1 month this year. So really excited about that. So Gloo has been around since 2018, and we announced 1.0, the production ready of Envoy-based API gateway of Gloo in November 14, 2019, actually before I even joined the company. And in North America, KubeCon last year, we announced the intention to donate Gloo as an open source project in CNCF, and we name it kgateway to be vendor neutral. So we actually initially tried to donate kgateway as an incubation project, but because of the review length is very long, we decided we'd rather get in as a sandbox first. So now we are applying for the CNCF Sandbox in sandbox level. This is our website. Towards the bottom, there is a link. You can go to kgateway.dev on your own machine to visit our website. So what it exactly is kgateway is an Envoy-powered Kubernetes native API gateway. We believe it's the most mature and widely deployed Envoy-based gateway in the market. We could be a little bit biased, but we do have hundreds of customers running Gloo in production today, and some of them running very, very large mission critical applications behind our API gateway. We've been spending a lot of time recruiting maintainers outside of Solo because we understand this project was started in Solo, and it's very important to have external maintainers to be sustainable. So so far we were able to successfully recruiting 4 maintainers outside of Solo. Many of them are actually employees from Solo at one point, but the fact that they are willing to stay as maintainers, we're super grateful. Um, we've also been very busy establishing governance of the project since the initial intention of donation being announced in November last year. As you can see, we have the vote system in place, and we passed the governance votes recently. And you can read more detail about our governance in our community repo. We spent a lot of time renaming vendor neutrality from Gloo to kgateway. We recently have our builds published under the new name, and we're halfway through the renaming. There's still work to do, but we're very excited. The builds are available under the new name for folks to try. So if you click on the link, you'll be able to install kgateway on your machine, which I have it running on my laptop right now. We've also spent a bunch of time, have CI/CD system in place, do property tests and checking as every single PR comes in. We designed kgateway to be highly extensible so people can build extensions on top of kgateway. Eventually, we're looking at archive the Gloo open source repo so that everyone would focus on the kgateway open source repo. From a user experience perspective, it's very easy to use kgateway. I actually went through this recently myself. So as a user, I come in, I install Kubernetes Gateway API, which kgateway depends on, and then I can use Helm to install kgateway, which essentially installs the kgateway control plane. What the control plane does is it watches for any incoming Kubernetes Gateway resources, API resources deployed in the Kubernetes cluster, and spins off the corresponding gateway proxy in the cluster. For instance, as a user, you can deploy gateway resources using the kgateway class, and you can deploy ingress gateway, you can deploy egress gateway, you can deploy namespace or application scoped gateway, and then use Kubernetes Gateway APIs such as HTTP routes, TCP routes, and also the Gateway API extensions to configure traffic behavior for kgateway. Our roadmap is also published in the community repo. A few things I want to highlight that's really exciting as part of our roadmap is we're adding AI functionality into kgateway, which is going to provide secret management for large language model user use in their cluster when the large language model travels through the kgateway to connect. We're also providing prompt guard and enrichment as user interact with large language models through their application. Also, if your primary large language model is down, we allow you to fall back to your backup large language model. We're also very actively working with the Kubernetes Gateway API. There's, Nick, I'm not sure if you're familiar, there is this AI inference extension that Kubernetes Gateway API community as part of SIG network is working on, and they recently announced the alpha release, 0.1 release. So we're actually working with that community, actively implementing kgateway to support the same API in kgateway. So one of our maintainer, Daniel Hansen, he is a maintainer for Kubernetes Gateway API and the inference extension and also kgateway. The other thing we are also doing is we are integrate very nicely with Istio Ambient. Nick, I know you are quite familiar with Istio Ambient. So one of the key innovation of Istio Ambient is it splits the service mesh into two layers. There is the zero trust providing layer 4 functionality, and then there is also the layer 7 provide advanced traffic management capability. So that layer 7 layer in Istio by default is provided by Istio Waypoint, but we also designed the Waypoint to be highly extensible so that you as a vendor or anybody who's willing to innovate can bring in additional gateway as a waypoint. So in this case, we can bring kgateway as a waypoint, which integrates very nicely with Ambient through Kubernetes Gateway API. So we have nice extension in Istio to build to allow the pluggable waypoint. We also have a couple of other smaller roadmap items such as route delegation, customer gateway policy, and automatic Istio Metro TLS, and also produce and improve our scalability. Project planning is also available. If you click on that link, it shows, actually, I'll click on that quickly right now. It shows some of the releases we have planning for the beta and also GA. We're hoping to release the GA version pretty soon also, because the project has already been around for a very long time for Gloo. We've been running community meeting for a while. Actually, we started running community meeting in November, but we didn't figure out how to properly recording. So our first recording didn't land until in December's community meeting, but as you can see, we've been running it every single week when there are team member willing to host it. we also have been actively publishing blog. So we have a project update on our roadmap and accomplishment published towards the end of January. We also publish our thoughts and concerns around DeepSeek with kgateway recently as well. Um, and Nick, if you're interested in user cases, adapters integration, and quotes, just head over to kgateway.dev, and we have our user cases in there. It's probably very familiar with you, and also some of the quotes from the community, some of the logos we had from Gloo, and also some of the integration we built from Gloo to kgateway. I think that's it. So circle back. This is my Sandbox application. So hopefully, I you would agree with us. The project is ready for Sandbox, but I'm going to take a pause here, see if you have any questions.